Today, we're going to break down a really powerful but super simple tool for cutting through all the noise. It helps you manage your tasks and actually get the important stuff done. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix, and honestly, it's a total game changer. So let me ask you something. You ever have one of those days, you get to the end, you look back, and you realize you were just running around all day, answering emails, putting out little fires, but you didn't make any real progress on your big goals? You were busy, for sure, but were you actually effective?
If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. You're probably caught in what's called the urgency trap. It's this feeling of constantly reacting to things, notifications, pings, small requests that feel like they have to be done right now. They make you feel like you're accomplishing something, but really, they're just distractions. Now, the guy who famously figured this out was none other than Dwight D. Eisenhower. Before he was president, he was a five-star general juggling these massive, world-changing decisions. And his secret weapon was a simple principle, summed up perfectly in this quote. This one idea, it's the key to everything.
See, it all comes down to really understanding the difference between two little words, urgent and important. Urgent tasks are the loud ones. They're in your face, they demand your attention right now. But important tasks, well, those are the ones that actually move the needle on your long-term goals and what you value. They're the ones that need planning. And the trap we all fall into is letting the urgent stuff crowd out the important stuff.
So, how do we fix this? It's simple. We use a 2x2 grid. This is it, the Eisenhower Matrix. Every single thing on your to-do list can be sorted into one of these four boxes just by asking two questions. Is it urgent? And is it important?
All right, first up, quadrant 1. This is the stuff that's both urgent and important. These are the things you have to do right now. Think about crises, big pressing problems, or a project with a deadline that is just staring you down. You got to manage these, but the secret is to try and have as few of these as possible by planning ahead.
Next, we have quadrant 2. This is the magic quadrant, seriously. This is for things that are important, but not urgent. This is where you proactively decide to spend your time. We're talking about planning, learning something new, building relationships, looking for new opportunities. This is the work that stops future crises from ever happening and leads to real, lasting success.
Quadrant 3. This is where that urgency trap we talked about really lives. These tasks feel urgent, but they're not important, at least not to your goals. Things like a lot of meetings, that endless stream of emails, constant interruptions. They feel productive, but they're really just somebody else's priorities. The action here? Delegate. Find someone else who can do it. Just ask yourself, does this really need me?
And finally, quadrant 4. This stuff is not urgent and not important. These are the tasks you should just delete. We're talking about mindless scrolling on social media, time-wasting habits, anything that gives you zero value back. You gotta be ruthless here because cutting this stuff out frees up a shocking amount of time and mental energy. Okay, so the theory makes perfect sense, right? But how do we actually use this thing in our day-to-day life? Let's walk through the practical steps to make this matrix your new best friend. It really is as simple as 1, 2, 3. First step, just do a brain dump. Write down every single thing you think you need to do. Don't even try to organize it, just get it all out. Step 2, go through that list task by task and place each one into one of the 4 quadrants. And step 3, just follow the rule for that quadrant. Do it, decide when you'll do it, delegate it, or just delete it. So let's put it all together. Here's your cheat sheet. Quadrant 1, urgent and important. You do it. Quadrant 2, important but not urgent. You decide on a time to do it. You schedule it. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important. You delegate it. And quadrant 4, everything else, you delete it. It's such a simple way to take back control of your day.
But here's the thing, and this is probably the most important part. Using the matrix isn't just about sorting your to-do list for the day. The real power here comes from making a long-term strategic shift in where you put your focus and your energy. The ultimate goal is to completely change how you spend your time. You want to shrink the amount of time you spend in that reactive mode, putting out fires in quadrant 1 and getting distracted by quadrant 3. Your real mission is to grow the time you spend on that proactive, high-impact work in quadrant 2. Because the more time you live in quadrant 2, the fewer fires are ever going to pop up in quadrant 1. See how that works?
So the big takeaway here is this. The Eisenhower Matrix, it's not just another productivity hack. It's a whole new way of thinking. It's a mental model that helps you transform yourself from someone who's just constantly busy to someone who's genuinely effective and in control. And that brings us to the end. I'm just going to leave you with one final question to chew on. When you look at your week ahead, what is that one quadrant 2 task, something that's really important but not necessarily urgent, that you are going to schedule time for? Because making that decision, well, that's your first step.